I am higher vibrations, and so are you. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I actually got chatting with Josie. We forgot we weren't even live. So, you know, I can't even blame Mercury retrograde on that one. It wasn't a tech issue. But welcome everybody who's here. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. We are in alignment. We are in, Mercury Venus retrograde, moving into Mercury, or I didn't mean to say that. Mercury Venus conjunction while Mercury goes retrograde. Yeah, I've noticed my language really been affected. A lot of people have been reaching out to me today. So I'm going to say this real quick while we're getting people coming into the audience. A lot of people have been talking about specifically the left side of their body, in particular around the heart center. A lot of density and things that have been clearing off of this area. Everyone's got their own thing going on. Tapping really helps. The motion of the lymphatic system's flow really helps. You can get qigong, you can tai chi, even just a silly dance, you know,
Mhm.
bending your knees a little bit and just kind of bouncing while you're doing the dishes. Stuff like that's really going to help. The
Mhm.
silly dance is really the answer. I've been hearing that one all day long. So if that's you and you're feeling that way, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're okay. If you have any reason that you want to, by all means, go check out, your doctor and have that reassurance there. This is not medical advice, but this is our experience. And here to talk more about this and much, much more, we have Josie in the house. I always love it when you come on. So welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm in the vapors.
Yeah, there's a lot going right now, right?
Yeah, it's a very present energy. It's a very magnetic energy as well.
Yeah, yeah,
It's hard to ignore.
very much so. In fact, I was thinking maybe we should just jump right into that conversation point because that's so all what my experience is different, only it's the same as everybody else's. I think I've already shared this story with a few people, as well as you, Josie. Um, and like the past 24 hours, we've been in the middle of something, and the way energetically and visually I've been shown it, it looked like goo, like gelatinous, almost like gum being stuck to gum, and we were pulling from it, like we were pulling, and this thing is stretching, but it looked like a cartoon because you know how jello in a cartoon can stretch forever and then snap back to itself once you get off of it. That that birthing process that we just did a couple of hours ago, that was the snap. We pulled away from it finally after a long birthing process, and that caused this ripple. It was crazy too when it snapped back, this ripple on the gelatin, right? It went across and it caused everybody to feel it. Some people, when they're not ready for it, were feeling it like aggravation. So you're feeling everybody all of a sudden like running around like ants, and like, so that energy coming from the outside is not yours and you don't have to connect to it. This is us having entered into a new dimensional frequency space, a new timeline, a lot of stuff that new. So that was my experience, and a lot of you I know are feeling it too. Josie, you want to use your words now? It's pretty
I'm
much the
I'm
same thing.
totally over here losing it. I gotta stop changing body temperatures and stuff right now because it's so hilarious. We partially talked about this. Partially. We did not actually like fully talk about this. So I'm getting details that I didn't have before from her perspective and what happened. And I can't make this up because I've been meditating a lot lately. And last night, last night, a being wanted to speak to me. And I don't play that, especially if I'm trying to go to sleep. So I'm like, hey, check me out in the morning. Like, let the sun come up. I'm not doing this right now. And I forgot about it, whatever, right? Well, when I got up, I do my meditation in the bed, right? When I get up, hydrate, I go in, right?
Mhm.
And then the being came back, checked in, and I was like, all right, you're here now. So I asked all the questions, who are you? What are you here for? What do you want? Yada, yada. And I knew that I was dealing with a different energy because when I tried to get a name, I saw what you would normally see when you're looking at a frequency meter. You know, little things that go
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
down, or like how do you say, heartbeat type thing, but
Uh,
music, the
a
ones for
heartbeat.
music, right? And I saw it happen and I said, oh, okay, cool. I'm not going to push to hear an audible or English name at all. That was that being's name. That thing. It was that's when I understood that I wasn't dealing with the norm.
Uh-huh.
This being was gelatinous. Okay? That's why I lost it when you were talking, because this was a gelatinous being that specifically, you know, for in my experience, was saying, I'm here to assist you. I'm like, you're here to assist me with what? Hold on, what's going on? Right. And the being was like, I'm here to assist you with what it is that you're bringing in, what you're calling into your reality right now. I'm here to assist with that. And of course, you know, I did that quantum thing. I went back to go forward because I'm like, first of all, who are you? Where'd you come from? Yada, yada. And like, how did you even know? How did we get to this point where you show up like I rang a bell? I need to
Yeah.
know the part where I rang the bell to say, hey, I need help over here, right? So, from what I understand, this gelatinous being was not, it operates like, oh, we're helping. Yay, like a dendrite. Look, y'all, I might be a medical professional, but this is not medical advice. You know, don't go out there doing crazy stuff. It operates like a dendrite, and from what I understand, that belongs to the nervous system. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a nerve cell. So if you could just imagine a nerve cell, how it's not perfectly round like our blood cells are, it's like a splatter instead.
Yeah.
Just imagine a whole bunch of those little splatters that come together like Optimus Prime to make a big
Yeah.
splatter. That's what was explained to me, because this being is not just one being, it's a whole bunch of those beings together had to make enough to make this connection with me because of whatever, you know, place I have found myself. I tuned into that frequency while I was over here with these intentions and things and trying to do my thing, bringing in manifestations and stuff. I happened to match the frequency of that energy. So yeah,
Right.
the jelly beings are here to assist the collective with what is being brought in. So your own individual manifestations are one thing, but apparently, right, the collective is bringing something in, and we may have forgot we were manifesting it.
Yeah.
We may have forgot, you know, but it's on a huge scale. And I was like, okay, perfect timing, because the planetary alignment, the little planet parade right before the 3-3 portal with the total lunar eclipse. I'm like,
That peaks at
I'm
333.
willing to literally bet money that something's definitely gonna obviously happen. Something profound.
Yeah. And it's already
So
happened.
yeah,
Like that was the pulling away, the remove, the untying, unentwining our energy with
yeah,
a different timeline, basically.
yeah.
And as a result, a lot of us, I think, got the same thing. For me, I saw a couple of end of life cycles of my own in different timelines or
Mm,
possibilities of occurrences, like, and it closed the door on that. It ended it. It made it so, okay, now that's no longer compromising my energy space.
yeah, yeah. I've felt that energy. A lot happened today,
Yeah.
particularly because you're helping me remember some of the things. Um, Not only did I feel the release, but I got a glimpse into one aspect of my future self that
Ooh.
I thought was such a gift, because I don't really focus on that. But when you're manifesting, you definitely want to kind of do a coupling with your present and your future self, doing the things that you want to be doing,
Yeah.
and having the things you want to be having. Um, but there was definitely, oh, I didn't tell you about the look. We're everywhere. The cocoon. Girl, like, I think it was yesterday during the day when I did a meditation. Um, I was expecting a spider. All of this blue web started going around me, making a cocoon, and I was like, I want to see the spider that's doing this, this
Yeah.
probably scary looking cosmic spider, but there was no spider. And I had to be reminded, this is your own making. All of this webbing going around you, this is you. And then I melted in there. And then in the center of it, all of these small lights started coming together to make the new me.
Yeah.
I've been in the zone, y'all. So I had like this rebirth thing between yesterday and today. Um I guess I'm right on track with Mila.
Dude, Josie, you don't know this because you didn't come. I posted it to just the group that went to it last night. I haven't done it to the big group yet. I when I lead meditations, they're channeled. I don't know what we're gonna.
Mhm.
Last night, what we did in the meditation was really every level of it. I felt like I was in a D&D thing. Like it was just like, and then kind of thing.
Mhm.
We did what you just talked about. We went into the sacred forest place that was like many layers down,
Mhm.
and it looked like a crystal web, kind of like my background a little bit, like the edges.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were supposed to break it. Like it was a barrier that was preventing the flow. We
Mhm.
did that as a group last night. You
Wow.
just described that. You just described it. And it's a
Wow.
rebirth thing. What they were showing is you're you're releasing all the stuff that they kept calling it your limitations, like identity, labels
Yes.
of different kinds, and your place in this world. And kind of like what you were saying before, although I don't know if we were live yet, I hope that's okay. I think it's okay to say this,
No, you're
that
fine.
you realizing that um, it's got nothing to do with the future. It's about being in most present of present, that
Mhm.
this stuff is really coming into flow. And when you do that, then there's no time. And
Yeah,
that's
that
what we were
hyper
talking about
presence.
earlier. Go ahead.
That it's like the ceiling fan when it's on high and you lay down and you stare directly at it and you can see the individual blades. Um, we're leading into the time slippage thing. I got a message about a time slippage energy that we're going to be experiencing pretty much for the rest of the year. So if like, if you could just imagine your day to day, whether you're a mom, whether you got to get up, you have a routine, you go to work, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Just imagine if someone was following you, taking snapshots of certain parts of your day, and then moving one scene out to where the next scene comes sooner than it should. We're going to be
Yeah.
experiencing that kind of phenomenon. And I call it skipping steps. You're either going to fear it or you're game. You're ready to get in and see what it does. You got to be really curious with this energy. Very curious.
Yeah.
Or else
Oh,
you're going to feel like you're going insane. Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it too. Yeah.
It's true. I mean,
The
if things are not reliable in the way that they're normally reliable to you, if you can't, like, because literally, I can feel the collective. Some of them are going to be like, wow, really? I can't even just walk from my room to the restroom and simply brush my teeth. You're going to feel like you can't win for losing. But
Yeah.
it's only because of fear.
Right.
Because other people are going to be thinking differently. They're going to be like, oh, okay, I'm having some challenges doing simple stuff. Let me step back and find out what's going on. And because this is obviously an opportunity for me to change something.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? To turn
Yeah.
something. I either don't need this anymore, or something needs to be innovated. That's how you keep going. That's how you can leapfrog and really appreciate the time slippages that are going to be happening, because they're there for you to manifest quicker. Y'all remember back in the day when we used to talk about how manifestation was going to be faster and fifth dimensional energy? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Well,
Here.
you knew that it was going to happen. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing when you're still kind of operating in the old reality. But again, you got to embrace your multidimensionality. You got to be whatever you need to be in each moment without allowing that old programming to keep you stuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this is actually told that we're gonna. This is so cool that we're talking about this. Um, so the big thing I keep getting from Spirit too, they keep in Spirit will come in and give me the same message over and over again to tell everybody when things are happening. Um, and this one in particular for this week has been um, replacing the word manifestation with the word choice,
Mm.
because yeah, the frequency of the word choice doesn't have as much baggage on it as manifestation does. Like, too many of us have been indoctrinated into the belief system of woo woo is bad, like manifestations woo woo, and woo woo means that it's something that can't happen, or it's like flighty make believe. And choice
Yeah.
is a different frequency. I'm deciding now and choosing the reality in which you will stand in
Hmm.
is really easy to do when you use that word. I choose the highest timeline. I
Yeah.
choose is, for the highest joy and highest good of myself, of
Hmm.
my child, so on and so forth, right?
That's what it feels like now. It definitely doesn't feel like I need to do this ritual and then I need to, force positivity
Yeah. Yeah.
until the thing happens. No, it definitely feels more empowered. It definitely feels more like a choice and a tuning. There's
Yeah.
this coherence thing going on. So if you haven't really, jammed it up and really got gushy with your heart space, I mean, I recommend it, because the Merkaba is working. It's functioning. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I'm like, look, everybody just needs to know how to get home in the
Yeah.
middle of all of this, because the things, they're moving. And this is no longer a I'm sure about every single step I take and I feel safe because of the structures around me. You can no longer rely on the structures around you. You have to be safe, because each step that you take literally creates what needs to support you,
Right.
you know? It's
Yeah.
different. It's like the other way around now.
Yeah. And this is also the reference I was making about I was saying with the Bible, with the book of Matthew. They actually told us this would happen. It's in
Mhm.
uh, Matthew 24, and I was going to show. Do you know Matthew 24? Huh?
Yeah, because I remember you were saying that you were going to pull it up. Are you going to pull it up on screen?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but I'm finding it difficult to find the one that I meant. It looks like I just sent myself a whole bunch of the same one. Yeah, but
But you could
uh,
just read it.
yeah. So uh, Matthew 24, where is it? Um, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. You shall see that ye be not troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Uh, the actual quote that I'm referring to, I think might have been a different translation, but what they're this is what Spirit showed me, and I found it on the internet, and my friend helped me find this just now. Is what they're talking about is this is the other thing that's happening right now, okay? And a lot of people are going to be hearing about other timelines playing out. They're going to hear about rumors of war and famine and these and that, but the quote that I was looking for specifically, it says, "Though they will not touch you, for you are the elect." Elect is
Ah,
another word for chosen ones. That was their way to start to slowly transition it out of plural to singular to try to make people think that it wasn't them. And there's a whole bunch of us, you know. So as the chosen ones, and if you're watching this conversation and you're listening to this conversation, you're one of those two. Okay, it's actually really cool. Though here we are, we're going to hear rumors of things, and it's not actually happening in our reality. It doesn't. You get to decide by this
mhm.
choice, this manifestation in choice. Decide what timeline you're going to choose. By who are you giving your attention to? That's really it. That's really it. The other part was Matthew 24. Um, Another part of Matthew 24. It has to do with the shortening of days. I believe that was 6 to 8. The days will be
Yep.
shortened to spare the elect. Again, there's that word, chosen ones. We are being spared the
Mhm.
time. That's why time slippage is so real right now. Do you realize not only is it already February, but February is almost gone?
Yes,
What? When did that happen?
it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. So much and condensed. My biggest thing has been how condensed experiences have been, but at the same time, I welcome it because my whole life I've been trained for condensed experiences because that's how I grew up. Whole bunch of stuff happening in a short period of time. And then now that it's happening, I feel like, oh, well, I know what this is. I know what to do with this. But a lot of people don't know what to do with it, and their emotions are the key. They really got to get a hold of themselves emotionally and start to literally utilize their emotions to not only yeah, a weapon. You got to weaponize your emotions, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I literally mean knowing when to express and when to withhold, when to express openly for the collective and when to express behind closed doors in a safe space. Just knowing when and where, and then also empowering yourselves to transmute and utilize that energy after you're done getting it out is just it makes such a huge difference. Okay, that's how you're gonna get there because the emotions are being really triggered right now. The emotional body is everything right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It's deciding. It's that we're because what we had been doing previously is we've been mm, operating under the false belief system that we were fed that we were supposed to be the banks of the river instead of the river itself.
Tell it. And we decided, oh, it's our responsibility to contain the
Yeah.
river and restrict it.
Right.
Like what?
Save, preserve it somehow, right?
I'm like that. I mean, think about if you had voluntarily decided you saw a river one day and decided I need to be responsible for this living thing, this powerful thing, this cleansing thing, this earth changing thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be responsible for it and try to control it. Nah.
Right. Yeah. Have fun with that. It's not gonna work out so good, probably.
Like, all right, yeah, you're gonna get weathered too with all the rocks and everything else. you know, that's how that's gonna go. And if that's what's necessary, I'm all for it. I've been dragged a few times. So when other people get dragged, I just try to help them through it. I don't try to stop it though.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you're gonna get me to do. If you're being dragged, I'm gonna be like, hey, we're here. You got this.
Right. Yeah.
But just know you got to go through it.
Yeah. Or let go
Mhm.
of the reins, stop trying to control it. And sometimes we stop getting dragged, you
Yeah.
know?
And when you're getting dragged, there's so much going on you can't hear. You can't hear basic instructions. So that let go part, that
Yeah.
let go part is like a spiritual reflex. Because how many times have you ever just let go because your brain told you, man, this is some tough stuff. You don't have to do this. You should probably just go ahead and let this go. And it just happened. No, you have to reach an apex
Yeah.
before you were like, no more. Your whole soul just made the decision to let go. And it had nothing to do with your brain.
Yeah.
Sometimes we needed that extreme.
Yeah. 100%. In fact, I find that that's how spirit operates kind of on the regular, like
Mhm.
for instance, you'll have people who are convinced that they're under psychic attack and they're having psychic attacks. Now, I'm not taking away from your experience. It's not impossible, right? But let's talk about this part for a second. Is that spirit talks about this and says, "Did you see what happened? What did you do? Well, you were in a situation where there was stuff coming in and it was starting to piss you off, but no, 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 I'll take it. I'll martyr it up, because I'm just, that's something I'm used to doing. So, go back to making dinner or what, keep your head down and all that crap, and none of us naturally are meant to keep our heads down, by the way, in case anyone's wondering.
Yeah.
That's something that, yeah, that's a different thing. So at some point, that catalyst is gonna piss you off just enough that you're like, no, I'm done. And then you're like, whoa, I
Yeah.
didn't know I had that spiritual muscle. And they're like, there you go. Good job. Pat you on the
Yep.
head. All right, now you know how to do it, and they move on. That's what it is.
Oh, isn't it exhilarating though? That
Yeah.
moment of being cracked open for the divine to come in and just put everything where it belongs.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing because it's the most love and safety you've ever felt as a human. Those
Yeah.
moments of I can't cry anymore. There's no more tears left. I can't do whatever it is that you've been doing. Just that moment of no more is what opens the door for everything that you want to say yes to
Yeah.
while you're in this big no period.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Along with that, I mean, how many I don't know. I'm betting just about every person in the audience, and that anybody that will come and listen to this conversation later on,
Mhm.
have had what we kind of call the token narcissist. And I'm not trying to like put anybody in categories or any of that kind of stuff. That's just something that's a word we use. And you know what happens to that empath, that light worker, that whatever word you want to use, the star seed will find that I'm going to use my headband as an example. Like if I try to just if I take this and I just drop it, it just falls. It doesn't do anything. But if there's
Mhm.
a catalyst causing this react like anchoring me, and I then start to pull away, just like that stretchy gelatinous goose story that we talked about.
Yeah.
You start to
Yeah.
pull away. It's required. You need an anchor. You need something holding you back to cause the ability for that to go flying across the room.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it just falls limp. And so it's also something that we require.
Yeah.
It's just about figuring out that you're in it so you can let yourself say, no, I'm done. I'm out. How long are you going to be in that friction time? Because
Mm-hmm.
really everybody's different personal experience.
Yep. And I tell my clients all the time, I tell them, in your time.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I can literally be giving you guidance, and I will say, that this person is dangerous. This person, you should not. Wow, this person has the possibility of really taking you out. But you're a grown person
Mm-hmm.
in your time. I gave you the message. I told you, you could lose your life dealing with this person. However, in your time, because I respect and understand that, first of all, I'm not putting the responsibility on myself to save that person from anything,
Yeah.
right? I know they're going to do what they're going to do, whatever it is that they have to go through in order to wake up to the danger in the situation. So I empower them by telling them, you're the one that makes the final decision in your own time.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody try to pull you out of this sooner than you're ready to. Even though I just told that person, hey, this person is literally about to off you soon if you don't get out, because it's psychological.
Right.
They need empowerment because they're the only one that can do that job. No one can do it for them. So they just need to be encouraged and empowered while also you acknowledge the danger. You see
Yeah.
what I mean? That's all you can do with certain situations, and you've got to detach from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got to detach.
Yeah.
It's wild.
100%. Well said. And letting yourself feel the self-worth that sometimes is required to
Yeah.
make that motion is really where I find myself being guided to say that with more people than not these days of working. I don't even like the word work because it implies, something else, but letting yourself address that part of you, that self-worth, to see that you're worthy of receiving said gift. And
Mhm.
that's the funny part. Archangel Michael's hilarious. Every time I ever get Archangel Michael coming in, there's always like, he's like the uncle that was always goofing around, is how I experience him. He's always swearing and stuff, like, anyway, he's like the one that wants you to pull his finger, you know what I mean? And he shows himself like carrying all the bags and purses and stuff in like the mall, and wants to give you your stuff back. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
why y'all think that you're not worthy. It's like, oh, give that gift to somebody. It's not somebody else's gift to give them. Will you
Yeah.
take your shit? Because I'm tired of carrying it. Like, that's what these gifts are about, and like allowing yourself to receive them is the only real barrier that most people seem to be finding themselves. And how do you solve that? It's different for everybody. Self
It
affirmation stuff
definitely
really
is.
works. What was that? Go ahead.
It's definitely different for everybody because the reason why it even takes time is the processing. We like to not think of our physical brain as a processor, but that's what it is,
Yeah.
you know? And it really doesn't make sense for someone to do something so wrong to you
Right.
blatantly in your face, right? But
Yeah.
even in the collective, it really doesn't make sense for those people to be doing those things, right? So then there's this psychological moment that has to be had because the thing is so big, you cannot even figure out where you want to start to dismantle it. You see, it's all very deep in the mind because you were programmed to understand that this is the way things work and this is the way things are. So the moment something happens that is outside of the programming, it takes a long time to even accept that that thing is happening, even though it's happening right in your face multiple times. It's
Yeah.
hard to accept it, you know? It's wild, and a lot of people are going through that right now. They're yeah, you know, you've got the dynamic of the truthers that I'm not saying that they're out there saying, "I told you so," but they're in the "I told you so" box now.
Mm.
A lot of truthers are in the position of "I told you so," while some people are like, "Wow, this is true." They're in that box of,
Yeah.
okay, I'm starting to understand what so and so was saying. However, what do you do about it? You know, so they acquiesce or they decide to learn more and awaken from that point and start to, you know, learn more about the situation. So there's still a chance after the truth. This is a good hint for the collective. There's still a huge chance that after the truth, that there are going to be people who acquiesce, not because they don't believe that the truth is the truth or all of the evidence behind it. They just need longer to process
Yeah.
because you can't hurt yourself. This is why disclosure has to happen the way it has to happen, because people can have psychological breaks due to their whole existence, quote unquote, being challenged or wrong or whatever it is they're thinking in their head, especially those who are not open to other life forms existing, other ways of life existing, because there are some people who truly believe you go to work, you go to school, you come home.
Yeah.
That's life. That there it's ingrained. You know, we don't go surfing on the weekends because that means we're not responsible. Like it's a thing. It's a big thing out there. So we got so many levels of psychological dismantling that has to happen in the acceptance part of the process.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So again, I tell people in your own time, this is why we don't all pop at the same time, because there is no way that all of us can have the same intense moments at the same exact time. How are we supposed to support each other? This is definitely divinely orchestrated to the utmost comfort of the star seed and light worker,
Yeah.
even though it doesn't feel comfortable because
Yeah.
it could be worse. You know, we could be all going
Yeah.
through everything at once.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And allowing yourself to uh accept that um well, I feel like part of it does have to do with uh the AI stuff. I'm just going to throw this out there
Mhm.
because it even though maybe it might annoy some of us that how often we're
Mhm.
seeing like generated stuff and it kind of
Yeah.
makes it so the parts that were true are harder to see as truth. um, what has shown me because I was a little bit more than just annoyed about it at one point, and what spirit showed me was that made it possible for people to be able to digest truth
Yes.
because it makes it
Yes.
so there's a possibility that
Yeah.
this might not be true,
Yeah. Just like the
right?
movie. They started with the movies and then they went into social media and deep fakes and the AI. The whole point is to throw the idea out there and see how people respond.
Right.
You
Right.
see? Yeah, that's
Yes.
where we are. I'm looking at these comments. I'm trying to look at these comments. I'm not wearing my glasses, y'all. Welcome, love.
There's
I haven't seen her
there's
in a
been a lot of
minute.
people going. Yeah, what was that?
Rose.
Yeah, Rose Matter.
Hmm.
There's. I wanted to ask you something in particular, unless you wanted to address the
No,
comment.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, if
Hmm.
you because I don't know. I know you. There's been a lot going on lately, and so we've not really had a lot of time to like look at anything. I
Hmm.
know, but you do a Vedic astrology, and the Vedic astrology is different than
Yeah.
the Western astrology that I'm used to following.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering, are you familiar with uh, Algol? Do you know what this is?
If it wasn't you, somebody else brought it up to me recently. I'm familiar with the name. I just don't know the we call it mythology. I don't know the story behind it or the energies that are influenced by it. That's all.
Okay. So Algol is there's a lot of the history behind it, but one aspect of it is that it's in the constellation Perseus
Hmm.
and Medusa's head, actually. Like the Gorgon with the snake hair.
Yeah.
Um, and the reason it's a fixed star. What's fascinating is that the Uranus stationed direct on the 4th of
Hmm.
February in Taurus in conjunct with the fixed star Algol. Why that's significant is that it aligns with um, um, people in power falling from power.
Yeah.
And this includes like false prophets. Because you brought this up a minute ago. I don't know if you heard it. Notice the connection is that you were saying how there's like, um, we are in a devised division kind of energy. We can choose division if we want to,
Hmm.
like, oh, I told you so. And
Yeah.
to add to the I told you so's, you also got those that are like, well, I've been awake for this many years. And it's like, congratulations. That person right there you're talking to is actually more awake than you are since Tuesday.
Hmm.
And it's not, there's no measurement here. Right. And, I love that you brought that up because it feels like it aligns with what's happening in the
Yeah.
heavens. It's telling us, it's showing people's colors are being shown more.
Yes.
I know I'm not clicking people nearly as much as I used to, and it's not, I just don't feel like it, you know?
It's taxing on your energy. Your energy is already telling you before your brain can even process. Nope. It's,
Yeah.
mm-mm. That again, that's that fine tuning. That's that refinement of what was already there. It's working even better now. And
Yeah.
some people might see it as an issue because again, the opposition wants to manipulate. So
Right.
if your energy says no and you act accordingly, the opposition is going to continue to try to get you to yes
Yeah.
until you stand 10 toes down long enough. And then now you've created a new reality for yourself. But you really gotta,
Yes.
stay balls to the wall on your no when your energy is telling you no.
Yeah.
Be like, I thought
And honoring
that
yourself.
was my twin flame. Well, obviously not. It's okay. You're still living. Let's move to the next experience.
If you want to jump in this is kind of a fun conversation. I don't know about anybody else, but I like did some serious question answer kind of conversations over the years with Spirit about twin flame,
Mm,
and everything I've gotten is twin flame isn't really if you I know that it's I feel like too that a lot of these stories are coming from the energy we left behind, so it's not even really that it even aligns anymore. But I know for me, I'm good. I do not need a twin flame. A twin flame helps accelerate your ascension, but I'd rather take an extra year. Thank you very much.
yeah, yeah.
Because they come together like you're both going like this, and then you collide, and then it sucks really bad, but it's also really awesome, and everyone's going up fast. I'm good. I'll just go like this.
And it works for who it works for, right? We are aware that those people or entities that are trying to hold on to control of whatever, right? We're fully aware that they're aware of what's happening naturally, organically with our universe, with our galaxy. They knew this awakening was coming, and
Yeah.
they're doing what is expected. They're trying to control the narrative to keep in control. So there's that. The 3D printed awakening, and then there's the actual organic awakening. And I feel like the twin flame thing particularly is part of the 3D printed awakening,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
artificially made awakening, because it was pushed so hard, like a K Jewelers commercial on Valentine's Day. Like, that twin flame thing took
Yeah.
off, and it was in everybody's face, and it was basically telling you to tolerate. We already were programmed to understand that relationships were hard, but you should still attempt them over and over again. Okay. But the twin flame thing really took it to a whole nother level. It's no longer, oh, relationships are hard. It's, this relationship will almost kill you, but this is the one you want most out of all of the rest of the relationships. You want this one the most.
I know.
Just saying.
I know.
It's like the commercials and all of the propaganda focused on unions in the wrong way. Unions are
Yeah.
beautiful, but not when it's going off of a whole society that has literally been programmed to do it a certain way that benefits the system. Ugh, it's exhausting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had this conversation so many times, and so I'm gonna disclaimer it first so no one misunderstands me. I'm not telling anyone to leave their spouses or their partners. I'm not saying that the way that I live life is meant for you. But I can say this is that I was single for too long to want to not be single. Like, there's a line that I crossed where before, I mean, I always like, you're single for 6 months or a year in between is what I kind of did, in between
Mhm.
relationships. But it wasn't long enough for me to, and I wasn't healed enough yet. Also, I'm sure is also part of it, to be able to enjoy it. That now that I have done it like this, I can't imagine how that would be any kind of harmony for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy being the spinster. I'm set. And it doesn't, again, I'm not saying this is what I'm selling to anybody else, but isn't this fascinating that there seems to be, I saw something come up a little bit ago. I can't remember what it's called right now, but they're calling it like the lonely male epidemic, I think is what they're calling it.
Again,
Yeah.
it's a it's a symptom. It's a symptom, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
It has many names. The 4B movement, the lonely male epidemic. People are surprised at the divine feminine's awakening and probably did not expect it to look the way it does. Because
Yeah.
when you decide to no longer be a vessel of life in any way, shape, or form, I'm not just talking about having babies. Okay. I'm literally talking about muting all of your energy to where it can't just be accessed. You're no longer that big bowl of candy that everybody they can't control themselves and constantly getting it. A lot
Yeah.
of women have decided that they no longer care or desire what the program has been telling them to forever.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? That's not safe. For a long
Yeah.
time, I thought that it was safe, even though it did things that were not safe. And now I'm having to make the command decision that it's just not safe. No matter how many different ways I try to look at it, for me, it's not safe. And I now have a choice. So now that I realize I have a choice, I'm making it. And then all of a sudden, the birth rate declines. People are not happy because women don't even do some of the same things that they did anymore, being of service to men and children. You figured out that you were overly sacrificing and
Yeah.
putting everyone before you. And you were like, well, I'm not good for anybody if I'm not okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself together and keep my energy with me for a little bit and just let's see what happens. And it's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. I'm just saying, it is definitely happening.
Yeah.
It's empowering, it's healing. Um, we have girlfriends now. Women are starting to become friends again and
Yeah, that's
create
so weird
community
before.
because now it's no longer my man, my man, my man. We're no longer in that dynamic of as soon as you get hooked up with somebody, all of a sudden you disappeared and you're no longer have friends anymore, and this person is your everything. Now it's
Right.
women coming together doing great things, whether they're healers, business people, they're purchasing properties, they're doing things together. They stopped
Yeah.
hating each other and pinning each other against each other, like with the whole challenges and all. We the veil is gone.
Yeah.
We have choices now. There's
Yeah.
choices.
I've been seeing this. It's so because I'm the same. I didn't have any female friends, like because it was always about there was always some kind of weird cat game going on. Like I was known for being that person that would just blurt out, "Well, just go boink him already." I didn't say the word I actually said then, but like just to get stop doing this. I'm just hanging out. You're acting like we're fighting. I'm not. He's like a brother. Ew,
Yeah.
but and that's just those types of things. It's changed from women knocking each other's crowns off. Instead, we're straightening them for each other. Like we're seeing, embracing the power and the strength of who we are.
Mhm.
And the nurturer and the healer is divine feminine energy. And I'm not saying that this excludes men. Men have their own awakening occurring right now too, that being distracted by the female
Yeah.
energy, sometimes meaning like dating or
Mhm.
something like that. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not telling you to break up with anybody, but sometimes we'll see that prevents this going in,
Yeah.
and this internal healing. You know, uh, Spirit showed me a time of the invasion happening in North America, and it was a piece of history that no one ever told before.
Mm.
And so there's isn't in any books, but Spirit showed me that when the invading Europeans were coming and slaughtering the different tribes and things,
Mhm.
um, they were actually trying to get to the women. And it was the men and the children and everybody who was standing between the invaders and their shaman and their healers. The and we're talking about women of age, postmenopausal age in particular. Something magical happens in that time. And if you think about it, if you got to deal with somebody, you don't want to be up against somebody who's postmenopausal. That person doesn't have anything to lose. You know what? She's going to be like, no, we're not playing this game. So you're going to figure yourself out or I'll figure it out for you. You know, like that changes. Right?
The crone wins. The crone wins.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I just pictured all of that. But, to their defense, to men's defense, they've been literally like, they're really simple, right? And they've been trying to show women this whole time, like they've been doing it through action, showing women how to put themselves first and do self-care and enjoy themselves, because men do that very easily and very publicly. So
Right.
we just, well, I know why we thought we couldn't do it, because we were programmed to feel like we couldn't do that,
Yeah.
you know?
It's time to change that now.
Yeah, but just watch
Yeah.
them, do what they do. If they get up one morning and they want to go and play basketball or they want to go get a massage, they just do it without hesitation.
Yeah.
Anytime
Without
a man
guilt,
wants to feel
shame,
good, he handles it. Yeah, he goes and gets it done, whatever it is. So you should be able to do that too. And be responsible for yourself and set up your life to where you're able to do that without someone needing to contribute to it. You
yeah.
don't always have to have money. You're skilled. And if you're not skilled enough to yourself, uh, learn some skills. Create value within yourself outside of fiat currency. Um,
Yeah.
if I want a massage, I trade for it before I pay for it. I know too many massage therapists. You
Right.
know, this is what community is about, and I really do feel like we're coming back together in a way that is beneficial to the whole, because it's beneficial to the individuals. Like
Yeah.
that give and take thing is not a give and take thing anymore.
Right.
It's a everybody's receiving and it's natural. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm excited about it.
Me too. Me too. It's gonna look really weird for people at
Yeah,
first. It's gonna be good, really amazing. You know, just like Karen says here, women were trained to serve
yeah,
everyone but
yeah.
themselves.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, all of us. Like, I mean, every one of you can resonate with this. I mean, heard, not maybe not resonate, have heard this and believed it at
Mhm.
some point that the greater the sacrifice, the better the gift,
Yeah,
and the greater the reward at some point in some elusive history, future. Somewhere down the road, you're going to be glad that you gave your last $5 that was meant to feed you so that guy can buy a movie ticket. You know, like, but we did it. I did it. That
I've
literally
been there
happened.
a few
Someone begged me for
times.
the $5. Yeah. What was that? Sorry, I cut you
I've
off.
been there a few times, and one of the biggest lessons in spirituality is you cannot expect someone to go to bat for you the way that you would for them. You cannot expect anyone to go the limit for you the way that you would for them. You've got to release that expectation of other people just in general, and that will help you to develop discernment and healthy boundaries and know where to place your energy to where it's beneficial for not just you but everybody involved, and where you should maybe not engage so much. you know
Mhm. Yeah.
it's definitely a different operating system. It's like the difference
Y
between, I don't even know, I can't even compare the iOS system to Android. I don't even know what system iPhone, how you say it. But um you
it's
definitely have to
analog.
operate differently because you're responsible for yourself on a level that you were trained not to be. You are trained not to be responsible for yourself, and now you actually have to be responsible for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It feels like, the difference between like dial up and like 5G, like it's like
That that's the perfect that right there is a perfect analogy, because I knew it was wider. The chasm was wider than just, Android and iPhone. I was like, yeah, we needed it
yeah.
so wide.
You're right. You're right. It and as this develops, as you're noticing yourself, because I feel like we're speaking to the future in some way too, because there's going to be people who are going to find this conversation when they need to, because this is going to be accelerating through the year 2026, but also some 2027 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think people are going to come back to this a couple different times. And, you know, if that's you, no matter where you are in time, because well, time isn't real, so that's cool. It makes things easier. Is that, know that it may feel like you're breaking apart, but what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, those 3D puzzles where you put the pieces and it turns into like a structure. What we have been doing is we shoved all these pieces on where they don't fit, and we've been just operating like good enough, basically, right? And the pieces are falling off, and so
Yeah,
and
we're
what
we're we're
is
putting gum
happening
on
is
it.
we gotta fall in. What was that?
We're putting gum on it and hairy tape.
Yeah,
It's just
right, right, and all kinds of nasty collection of stickiness is get it. So what's happening is it's not even a bad thing to fall apart, but we're falling all the way apart so we can put ourselves back together correctly.
yes, yes. Woo! I love it.
Yeah.
I do have a question for everybody. Please, in the chat, just let me know, because we've been in retrograde shadow for a little bit. So I think it's a valid question for in the now. Um, are you experiencing themes from your 2017 existence? It could be any
Mm.
synchronicities, any themes. Just, are you experiencing the year 2017 in the now? I just want to see what people say before I say what I'm going to say.
All right. I have something to add to that
Mhm.
too, but I can wait.
No, I mean, you could still talk though, because remember there's a delay in the chat.
Yeah, right. Well, something about I'm just gonna put into perspective what 2017 was, maybe just in case anybody doesn't remember.
Mhm.
2017, August 21st, 2017 was the total lunar eclipse or solar eclipse that happened. The first crossing of the X that happened across the country. The second one happened in 2024, April 8th, I believe. Um, that was happening. That was when the first time I found Spirit ever making reference to the Bible. They were doing it then too, and they actually showed us that when we have significant conjunctions, then that's a telling of a story of the Bible, so you can kind of see where you are, like a
Yeah.
time, like a road sign or a mile marker. Um, anyway, some of the things that I discovered in 2017 are coming to full circle
Mhm.
right now, like regarding these types of things.
Yep.
Like there's some understandings and awarenesses that are coming up. So I got some yeses. I got a yes from Roxy Girl 21.
I see it. I see it.
Um,
So the message that I got for this particular Mercury retrograde was that there were going to be quite a few synchronicities and themes around 2017. So the collective is going to be experiencing themes of 2017 during this Mercury retrograde period. And it coincides with the energy. So I have to do this in like a story format, in a chronological way, for me to even say what I'm trying to say. So we're going to start tomorrow. Okay, February 28th. where we have this beautiful planetary parade happening where all of these cute little planets are lined up and being good little students, right? Um, so that planet parade is tomorrow, right? You've got this awesome alignment: Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, and Uranus. Okay. All of them lined up. And literally, what is it, two days later? I don't know if I ever count the current day, but on the 3rd, okay,
Yeah.
on March 3rd, you have the 3-3 portal, the blood moon total lunar eclipse happening, and it happens to also be a number 7 day in numerology. Now, if that's not awakening energy, I don't know what is. So there are
Yeah.
going to be a large group of the collective that have mystical experiences. All of a sudden, they start to like nature or want to be in nature. They're going to be getting these synchronicities. Everybody's all of a sudden going to be interested in ET stuff and trying to communicate with ET. Like there's going to be this influx of everything collective, galactic, spiritual, like awakening, like, and I don't mean our ancient practices or any practices that we've been doing. I mean
Yeah.
mystical experiences that can't be explained, they can only be felt. I mean paranormal and extraterrestrial energy. I call that number 7 energy the God scientist, because that's that channeler energy. That's that this came out of nowhere from nothing. There's no paper trail. It came right into me. And what do I do with this? This is the rabbit hole energy. So I really feel like we are in a corridor, which started
Yeah.
for me last night. We are literally in a corridor, and we are, you know how when you step on a conveyor belt, like at the airport, where you can't just step off when you want to, you got to wait till you get to the end, right? That's what these 6 planets are. This alignment with the 6 planets, like we're getting onto a conveyor belt that we can't get off of, and at the end of it is that blood moon total solar eclipse. Like
There's something
there's
else.
no turning back. You can't go backwards. You're being fed right into this very transformative, mystical, divine energy. And lunar eclipses tend to take things away. Like when you have something like a gallbladder that needs to be removed. Well, they don't really make a big deal about putting a new one in there. They just take your gallbladder and say you can live without it. That's what lunar eclipses do. Okay? It snatches something, like in the most ratchet way, out of your life. So look, between now and the 3rd, I suggest y'all just get comfortable and really accept that something may go. Don't try to figure out what it is. Just really fortify yourself with the understanding that everything's going to be okay no matter what happens. How about that?
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Because it's
Yeah, it's a
for
good
you. It's definitely for you. It's going to definitely get you right and get you on your path. You know, this is a very intense energy, and
Yeah.
it's one of those unmistakable, undeniable eyes. Like, they were showing me dilated pupils. I mean, people are going to be having God moments. You know, those moments where you're filled with so much light that is shooting out of your hands, you don't even know what to do, and the truth is in you so hard that you want to tell people, like, no, I get it. I am God. Like, I really get it. Like, you're gonna have those kinds of moments. And, you know, just like I said, grounding outdoors would be helpful. That some of y'all might have to go ahead and just isolate yourselves because, oh, look, I know y'all wasn't ready for all of this, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and tell you anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter, male or female. This energy may cause a sensitivity in you that could be embarrassing in public. Just know that your sacral and your root chakras are going to be lit. And I mean, it only makes sense, especially if you got to get light all the way up to the crown and yada yada. But look,
Yeah.
try to not stimulate your root chakra area too much, you know, because I feel like it's one of those situations where you can have a whole bunch of spontaneous Kundalini moments easily.
Like you could be doing the O face in
Yeah,
the produce section, is what
yeah.
you're saying.
Carry a little hand fan with you because you're gonna have moments, okay? Little silk fan or whatever, because wow. It's funny to think about, but I just know whenever I give messages, I have this in the back of my head, like, yeah, you laughing, but you're definitely not exempt. And I'm just like thinking about being in the
Yeah.
line at Walmart, just going through
Yeah.
drama. But hey,
Oh,
it's all for your enlightenment.
I already started on that happen earlier today. Like it's really a thing. She's not.
Hey, your brain will be moisturized. I'm just
Joshua was
saying.
like, man, those veggies are looking fine.
I mean, look, amongst all the other things, you're going to wonder why your body's doing the things it's doing because this is not the right time. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What is this? What's going on? Y'all will be okay. Y'all will be fine. Because for some of y'all, I just don't feel like you're going to have that control that you normally have. Ooh. And for for you in partnerships, you might actually scare your partner. I'm just saying, you know, it's gonna be some new things happening. Y'all be aware of that.
At Lowe's. Yeah, like at Lowe's, exactly. So people are having it happen. Yep.
I'm telling you, because there's space being created in the field. And when I say the field in this respect, I literally mean the field within you, not the quantum field, but the field within you, because like you are a whole world. Hey, like, and there's this field. There's the field that your heart creates, and then there's your toroidal field, and there's all of these things. And you're expanding, and apparently the first and second chakra need to be expanded, and then they're going to snap back to their normal size and push the light up your ascension column. So y'all have fun with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like I'm not exempt for as long as I can, because I'm not looking forward to that. Wow. Because I just, I see everything. So I'm like, oh, wow, this is sometimes when I'm just talking and I'm delivering messages, sometimes I just want to sit back and look at it and just respond to it instead of trying to explain what I'm seeing. I just be wanting to sit there and be like, wow. And then have my own commentary about how I don't want that to be me.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's weird. definitely is weird.
Wow.
You know, and a lot of us are more like hermiting kind of lifestyles right now. So it's like, if you look at it from the outside perspective, it would look like that, I guess. So most of us won't have to worry about it too much, but still, like driving with it.
Yeah,
That's something. Pull
it's
over,
tough.
please.
It's
Pull
tough.
over. If you need to pull over, pull over.
But isn't this what makes us masters? That's mastery right there. Because we still
Yeah.
got things to do.
Yep. Yep.
It's mastery. But yeah,
And
the
it's sacred.
last little part in this message was whatever the lunar eclipse snatches from you, the timing was impeccable. It was literally divine, because this snatch is happening because you may have carried something from that number 9 year into this number 1 year, and this is the last call before the actual new year coming up, in the spring equinox. So whatever you've been holding on to till death, this is the last call with this 3-3 portal situation.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. I'm feeling it too. Like there's how I experience it. Spirit is just so vocal with me. Like that's how my life's been. Like all of us have our different story, and mine is that I had a near-death experience at 4, and I never knew this was weird, you know?
Mhm.
And so I just got used to it, and we have our own vocabulary. It just, anyway, um, is what we're doing right now is removal of the things that are blocking us, and we're all doing it. We're all doing it. And the way that they're showing things is it looks like layers of like, if you have a bowl of soup and you leave it out, there's that little thin skin on it.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that, where it feels like it's a barrier when you're breaking through it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're meant to be doing. We're breaking through these barriers. And with that, some of us hadn't been able to operate within a balanced, for instance, root and sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is where we've been hiding our inner child all this time. Like our inner child's been hiding in there. And that's like the shadow self, if you want to go, depending on your school of thought there. And then the root chakra, everything about life has been about being insecure, not feeling safe, not feeling abundant, the lack narrative, all of the stuff that blocks the root chakra. And now all of a sudden that's being released, and so we're going to have this massive activation,
Yeah.
that's happening. And the way that they talk about this process is like they say, do you use this? Is this something that you use? Are you sure? Okay, you can keep it, but you only have 5 more things you can keep. All right. Do you use this? And that's kind of what's happening right now. It's been happening for a little bit, but it's a little bit more like on steroids version of it. And fun side note, guess what? This parade of planets, they're saying it's only on the 28th because if you want to see it, by the way, you're going to want to look at sunset, because a lot of these planets are really close to the sun. In fact, the sun will still not be under the horizon when you want to be looking. Um, if there's any obstruction on the horizon line, like trees or buildings, you're not going to see what they're talking about. This is what's really exciting about it. It's this parade of planets is going to be happening till the equinox.
So
Yes,
we don't
it just
actually,
said it's
we're
gonna
not
happen till the
being
equinox.
delivered. We are being held hostage on this conveyor belt all the way through.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, great.
yeah. And March, all through the whole of March, every time I ask Spirit about March, they just laugh. But it's like exciting, like here it comes. You can open your presents in a minute, kind of energy.
It gives a
But
whole
it's
new
like,
meaning to March Madness, because literally I feel like our mental health warriors are really going to be having their hands full.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, happy freedom, love,
yeah,
and
Carolyn.
love to you in the now. It's a
Yeah,
thing.
It's a thing, and it's releasing yourself, and again, I don't want anybody to misunderstand, but if you're not aligned with the energy that you're with, I you know what to do.
Yeah,
You feel it.
yeah,
If you're been fantasizing about not doing what you're doing, even if we're talking about just a job, if you've been fantasizing about not doing what you've been doing, that's you manifesting and knowing on a level deeper than maybe you're aware of
yeah,
that you're not aligned for that and you're choosing something new and different
yeah,
to release yourself of the burden of servitude as a slave system that we're no longer consenting to. I no longer consent to any type of manipulation,
yeah,
and we've been taught that a relationship is your better half. Two broken halves making a whole is not a healthy relationship,
yeah.
right?
Yep. You want two strong pillars to be able to hold something up. You have
Yeah,
to be two whole pieces. I mean,
exactly.
you can't just, yeah, it's a lot. It's a journey. I feel like
Yeah,
any relationship, no matter what kind it is about making a choice every single day to interact with that person and express with that person. That's what's left for me. It's simply a choice that I'm making to continue to express with that energy. Um, I don't feel the obligations anymore. If something's not right, my boundaries matter. It doesn't matter who it's with. You're not gonna get more of me because you choose to express negatively. That's not gonna cause you to get more of me, and you're gonna get less of me. And
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm
yeah,
okay with not doing the things that society told me that I should be doing at all costs, out of obligation, out of tradition. I'm okay with releasing all of that. Um, y'all haven't heard me mention my kids in a long time because I haven't talked to
yeah,
them in a long time. I'm okay with that because they are sovereign beings and they've got their path and they've got to go through what they need to go through. And I'm happy that I have a choice not to have to put myself in the middle of them going through what they're going through. I don't actually have to
yeah,
be there in the thick of it with them, getting the residue on me. I'm good over here. I don't need to be there for a play by play. As
yeah,
long as I know they're okay, they're good, that's fine, because they got to do life. It has to happen. I'm not out here trying to stop anything, change anything with anybody in my life. So it's really obvious when something is no longer harmonious when it comes to me because I simply change my behavior. I
yeah,
simply adjust my interactions and I keep it
yeah,
moving. It's okay.
yeah,
I don't feel so tragic about it. I don't feel any way toward myself. I'm not judging myself. I am championing for myself in a way that I never did before. I'm doing the things that I needed others to do for me at a certain period of time. Now I'm doing all of that for myself. So if I come first and I'm of service to my family and the collective, then that means that I have to make hard decisions to take my hands off of certain processes and things. It's not easy
yeah,
to step back and allow your children
hmm,
or your spouse or your mother or your friends to screw up, but you have to. You have to let them. You have to let them make those decisions and go through what they're going through, because otherwise you won't have a life if you're following them around trying to keep them from whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you won't be living at all. Now, if they're with you, because some people are so extreme. If if you're with someone that you love and they decide to do something crazy that may put themselves in danger, or put someone else in harm's way, then of course you could at least tell them no, or don't do it. Say something, you know what I mean? But in the end, just know you don't have control over the outcome, because that
Right.
belongs to them, not you. You better think about
Right.
your safety and just step aside. Just saying.
Right.
And be like, well, I told him no, he did it anyway. You give the report to the police or whoever you gotta give it to and keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that with my daughter all the time, not to that degree, but like, I'll say, "Are you sure you want to do that? This is probably going to be the result."
Yeah.
And then down the road, I'm there to, console her and say, "Yeah,
Hmm.
that thing happened. That might happen, maybe next time." But that you can't, like you said, you can't jump in and do it for them.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the quote I keep getting over and over again: "Do not go to them, for you too shall be lost." And that doesn't sound as dramatic as it can be taken.
Mm.
What they're saying is you can't jump into a pit and assist anyone out of that pit.
No.
The visual they actually give me, it looks like remember, there's that cartoon with Mickey Mouse, I think it's called anyway, when he's like the wizard apprentice, and like
Oh, Fantasia.
I think it's Fantasia. Yeah. You thought of it and you gave it to me, so I said it. This is before you did. Thank you. And like at that one point when he's up on the stairs, I'm like, all the water splashing in every direction, those waves, that though he doesn't get wet. Because then this is the visual that you're given, is like it's like we're on a mountain in the ocean and everyone's waking up and they're splashing.
Mhm.
And we're not gonna get wet and it's not gonna do any good jumping in the water. It helps to stand and show them how mastery is
Yeah.
possible. And but if you jump in there, then you're going to be, you know,
Exactly.
doing the same thing they are.
That's like the pilot deciding, oh, well, I need to sit back here with y'all because the plane is going
Right.
down. Like, you just opted out of any ideas about how to save anybody.
Yeah.
You belong where
Yeah.
you are, and you can only
Yeah.
control yourself and govern yourself. So you got to operate from that position, you know?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a t-shirt. Know your position. I know some people take it the wrong way, but I like it. I'm just saying.
That's true though. Hey, there's 41 people here and 744. I've been seeing fours and sevens all day long. It's
I've
everywhere,
been seeing the
nonstop.
fours. And I love seeing the
Yeah.
fours. The angelic realm is lit.
Yeah.
It's very present. It's been present for probably for me about a week now. Um, it's very supportive and comforting, even though, like, the energy is what it is. You don't actually have to be going through anything to feel that energy, you know?
Yeah. I do. Yeah.
Mm.
And we don't need to pull it onto ourselves. We don't need to consume it. Like the energy that's passing through is what they say to say is that when you stand in a stream, the water looks like it's just going over our ankles, right? When you stand in the stream, your feet aren't wet, the water is,
Yeah.
right? And then the leaf that's floating down the river, that's an emotion or an experience. Like you were saying earlier, we are given it's like the things you want this commercial, you want this
Yeah.
commercial, you want this reality, you want this reality. And we choose to click it or
Yeah.
not, right? And we don't always realize this is happening because it sounds like our own thoughts. It's like,
Mhm.
well, I thought of that for a reason. Oh no, is this like foresight? Is this bad thing gonna happen? No, dude, just swipe it away. You don't need to engage. Just like that leaf. You're not gonna jump in the river and tackle it. It's mine. Let it go. Let it just float on down the river. And you're gonna be all right. All of us are gonna be amazing, and we're gonna be so excited that we're done with this. And we're also gonna see that some of the tears that we weep over the coming days, and maybe you've already wept your last tear, but they're going to be our last ones,
Mhm.
like, and this sounds like a real awesome thing, and it is, but at the same time, spirit wants us to remember that we kind of want to savor them, because this is really the last time we're going to feel sad,
Yeah.
the last time we're going to feel what we're feeling, right?
It's one of those things, and it's easier to appreciate when you've had a mystical experience and you've been raptured up in that energy and you know what that energy feels like, and you when you've felt what they call ecstasy, right? When you
Yeah,
felt that and sustained it for any period of time, and then you understand that that's where you're headed,
yeah,
you appreciate the myriad of emotions that you have to work with now, because you're, moving forward when you're in that new energy. I know it for people who don't experience pleasure very often, because there are some people, again, they have a belief that makes them suffer. So for people who can't take a walk in the park and smell the roses and eat chocolate cake for breakfast, for some odd reason they just can't do it, right? Those people, that energy is gonna be tough to like get down with at first, because it's just gonna feel like intensity. It's just gonna feel like something that they should be protected from. It's gonna feel like chaos and havoc. But for the people who know what it is, it's gonna just feel like your heart exploded and now you're an indefinite supernova walking around smiling and chilling, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's definitely gonna be it's a hard bike to learn how to ride, I tell you that.
yeah, yeah, it's true. And this is one of those that you don't really get training wheels
Yeah.
for. You just and so a lot of us take our time, like, analyzing it and writing up diagrams and stuff until, the chickens come home. But, or I guess the cows come home is how that reference is. But, like, um, but when you get down to it, all you can do is just, like you said, jump in. Jump in and enjoy yourself, be in the
Mhm.
experience, and you'll notice your natural inclination is the right
Yeah.
one. Is the first thing that you want to do is the right one, right? And everything else you're not responsible for. That's hard to unteach
Yep.
that part, Like we spent all of our school years and our, early 20s and the working world and so on and so forth. We've been molded this way for a long time, and it just takes some time. So like that 3D puzzle reference, one piece at a time.
Mhm.
You take it apart one piece at a time and put it back together one piece at a time.
Yep.
You'd be surprised how fast you get put back together, though.
If you don't
Yeah,
feel safe within yourself, how are you going to discern between a judgment and an actual emergency situation?
yeah,
If you see a stranger on the street, maybe they need help on a surface level. And for the most part, you can ignore it, especially if you don't intend to give to that person or help that person. But you've also got to be discerning and stop and listen long enough to figure out what's going on, because there could be a different scenario where it looks like that person is coming to you asking you for something surface level, when in fact they need you to dial 911 because they're not okay. But if you immediately just judge them right away and you don't even pause for a second, that's your safety that was compromised, that wouldn't even allow you to even peek the scene long enough. You don't even feel safe with yourself and your own decision making and in your own intuition, that's causing that to happen outwardly, you know?
100%. We're not meant to sacrifice ourselves.
No.
Any of us. And exactly, like, you get so much of this, well, I thought you were spiritual. Yeah, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself for you. Sleep is important. And like, here's one I'll get sometimes is people are like, trying to get me to do a session at a specific time that's like, really, I just can't do it. Why not? I'm not going to explain my life to you. I love you and peace. That's not, I'm taking care of myself, and I'm not even going to tell them that, because when I get told why, it's like, that's when my Aries really comes out. I'm like, oh, I'm not telling you. Not even if it means, that's just my stubborn part that comes out, but like, that's out right now because I'm learning this part of self-advocacy that I never had before. I'm learning I don't have to say I'm sorry if I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I don't have to say sorry for that, and it's actually a good idea to avoid, to not use those words any more than you feel like you really have to use them. You know what I mean?
It gives the other person an opportunity to practice acceptance. That's the way I see it. Practice acceptance there, we don't allow other people to get the lessons and opportunities that are coming their way naturally. We like to intercept because we're so used to being intercepted. Like, we do it like so second nature. It's crazy, but if you just kind of, without being aggressive, you don't even have to be overly assertive. Oh, no, I'm good. Right?
Yeah.
If you say something like that and the other person reacts horribly, that has definitely nothing to do with you. That tells you that person was kind of used to a certain level of sacrifice you're not willing to give, and they can go do that over there with who lets them do that. They're just not going to do it with you, and you only need to, say no one time. From that point on, you're going to probably have to remove yourself from that person that thinks that you owe them or whatever it is. Because again, a lot of us grew up in these dynamics of, remember what I did for you last week, blah, blah, blah. So there's this untold expectation hanging over your head. These dynamics have been around for so long that we're having to unravel. And the only way to get out of it is to start to, like you said, say no with no expectation, stand 10 toes down on it. And if you need to, remove yourself from the situation entirely, because action will always speak louder than words.
100%. If we are able to absorb this truth of above anything else, I feel like that you're already ahead of everybody else, is that you can't make anybody happy.
No.
And you also can't make anybody mad.
No.
You can't make anybody sad. You can't make anybody anything.
No.
And once you realize that, then it frees you up in so many different ways. Like you were saying about thinking you had to like manage the flow of the river and different, like it was all just busy work this whole time, distraction, busy work.
I literally,
And now,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and so now, once you release that, you can't make anybody anything
Nope.
part, then all of a sudden, what's left but you? Sometimes you might feel alone all of a sudden and tempted to be like, "Oh no, it's okay. I'm sorry, blah blah blah, come beat me up in energy wise or something, like that's what we had been doing before.
Mhm.
And that's only because there's a quieting that happens right at the beginning of your own energy renewed. It's like it feels quiet, eerily quiet. And it's like, whoa, wait, there's not all this stuff
Yeah,
happening. And that's good, right?
you got to get used to that new. Now you know what
Yeah.
it feels like without the chaos, and you've got to get used to it, entertain yourself.
Yeah. 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 Saying no was one of the most loving things that I've ever found myself being able to do. And whenever I've said that in the past, people have said, for the right reasons. Well, you know what? I don't think that no is used for wrong reasons. Like it's good to say no. It's the most loving act you can say for yourself.
Mhm.
So
Hello, Shashi.
my alarm's going
Welcome.
off telling me we should get done stop soon.
Oh,
So
that's
just
your
so you know,
alarm.
we got to probably let me hurry and turn it off.
I like the sound.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
over
Can
here
you hear
jamming.
it? Flowers that writes the world is the song.
Sing that into
um,
the universe will do it all.
is there
Yes, for sure. For sure. The universe will do it for you if you are too in the thick of it. You can't even see straight.
yeah,
And it'll feel like
because
betrayal. It'll feel like your whole world's crumbling, but you know, that's where the magic happens in that feeling. Yeah.
yeah, the mastery.
I see
Is
that.
there anything that you'd like to say in closing? I do need to kind of get going. I have another session coming up
Um,
soon.
besides the fact that I started a school community, yeah, I did that because I don't see this Mercury retrograde as a nemesis.
Good. So that's
Yeah,
SKOOL for anyone
I'm
wondering.
gonna type it
Tell
in
us
the
about it.
chat. But I
Yeah.
started a school community and I'm new to the platform, so it's interesting. It is interesting. It's called Jedix. Hopefully I spelled that right. So it's called Practical Embodiment Energetics, but the link is just Practical Energetics.
Oh, it
I
didn't
sent
pop up. Is it a link?
the Reiki is over there. Like there's a free membership, and then I'm still adding. But this community is more based on energy work. I'm doing conscious touch. I'm finally teaching massage, but it's for people who don't plan on using it like to make money, you know, non-commission massage, your family and friends. But it's called Conscious Touch. So we're gonna have the Qigong, Conscious Touch, the meditations, and our manifestation lab. Because I want to see people's lives transform, and I want to hear the stories of how they were able to marry the spiritual with the practical, because that's what I'm doing all day, every day. It's hard for
Yeah.
people to understand how this and that go together. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. The comment you typed into the comments, it didn't come up. So did you put it with a hyperlink, or if because it won't come up on
No,
my on anyone?
it didn't hyperlink on my end, but it's there. It's just probably a delay. Um, but it's
It's
fine.
S. Sorry.
I said it's fine though. Like it's no big deal right now.
It Well, because if it doesn't pop up, that typically means that they have detected it as a website address or something like that, and then they won't show it to everybody. So if you wanted to just say it, so we could like know,
Yeah, it's
it's called
school.com/practical energetics.
practical energetics. Okay.
I told look,
Maya
y'all,
can do it because I'm the
Mila
host.
checked in with me earlier because she was like, "Hey, let's talk for a second." I've been floating for half the day. I have this indifference going on here. Y'all just forgive me. I'm like, yeah, everything is nice and fluffy and safe feeling. It's these energies we were telling y'all about. There it is. I see. Thank you.
Is that right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this energy is like a huge inside joke. That's why I keep smiling. Like it's interesting. So,
Yeah.
a minute, y'all, but let's release Mila. I need to eat something.
Yeah. This was such a fun conversation. And I've never had it where we've talked with each other when you've been in this kind of energy. So it's really been fun to like your energy is more, it feels like you're more the flow. I will almost use the word malleable, but there's no desire to mold you. It just, you're just more like the flow. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And if anyone wants to check out Josie on the school website, you can see it on the screen right
Thank
now,
you, love.
www.school.com, Practical Energetics. And it's actually really cool. I love school. I've been playing around them
I
a
do
little bit.
too. They are wild over there. The engagement is awesome.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. A lot of people are like, "Where did they go?" They went to school.
Mhm.
That's where everybody went. So, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much. You're so amazing. Thank you for
Thank
this
you,
beautiful
love.
conversation.
All right, y'all ready?
And I
Have a good night, love.
Yeah, you too. Oh, and
Is
for
it
anyone
bedtime?
wondering, the 3-3 portal, when that's coming, that's not something that you have to be really worried about. But
Mm-mm.
yeah, we're definitely going to be feeling it when we're having the 3-3 portal. The southern hemisphere will be having the March 4th. Will be happening, and so simultaneous energy going down. And also technically it is March 2nd / March 3rd when
Mhm.
we're having the lunar
Yep.
eclipse because it's the nighttime, right? Or early morning rather.
Mhm.
In Pacific time zone, it'll be 3:33 a.m. when the eclipse is at its totality.
No. I'm
Yeah.
glad you plugged that in. Oh my goodness. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do something. I'm gonna find myself in a body of water that during that time. I sure will.
Yeah.
I will take the time to get up and be in a body of water at that time. Or whatever time
Yeah.
equates to
Yeah.
whatever you just said. We'll figure it out.
Especially if people have like a candle going because it's also the completion of the Chinese New Year. So it's the festival of lights or lanterns. Hmm. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, all the same window.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be
Yeah,
beautiful. Nice.
it is. Yeah. Well, thank you so much once again, and I'll see everybody again soon. We'll be doing our regular thing. We're also going to be doing a group meditation on the 3-3 portal in
Oh,
the evening, starting at 3 the when we I mean we're 3 p.m. Pacific
mhm.
is when we're going to start, 5 p.m. Central. Um, and so anyone who wants to join, you'll see that link popping up in the community section. You're welcome to join us. And if not, I'll see y'all on Sunday for our regular live. Thank you once again, Josie.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, love.